Hello and welcome to another episode of the Manifestation Bible podcast. Today we have a very special guest joining us. She is an astral projecting teacher and expert who has helped many people explore consciousness beyond the physical body. I'm so excited to dive into today's conversation. So I'd like to welcome Morv to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So just getting straight into it, essentially, what made you get into the astral projection side of things? Because it's a very a woo-woo topic that not a lot of people dive into and want to leave their body essentially. How did you do that?
Yeah.
Or find it?
Yeah, so it is quite a long story, but the short story would be when I was about 13, I started experiencing sleep paralysis, which for those who don't know, it's basically when your mind wakes up before your body and you're in a state of paralysis and you can't move, you can't speak, and it often comes with seeing scary things around the room. So I basically experienced that almost every night for about 7 years and I hated it, but I did learn a lot about it. I kind of learnt how to tell when it was coming on and I also learned how to control it. So I was able to kind of stop myself from getting it most of the time. But yeah, when I was about 19, I met somebody and I told them about it. And they ended up tagging me in a video about it being the gateway to astral projection. And I had heard of astral projection before, very briefly, but I didn't know too much about it. But I gave what the video said a go. It didn't work the first few times, but then eventually I tried something else and I ended up leaving my body. I literally just went up and back down. And then
Did that scare you?
Yeah, from there.
The first time you left your body?
What did you say, sorry?
Did it scare you? Leaving your body for the first time?
I don't know. I can't really remember. I don't think it did. I think it was since I had
holy shit, I did this,
so much,
and that feeling of
I was trying. Yeah, I think it was more of just oh my gosh, this is actually a real thing, because I obviously didn't know if it was actually a real thing until I experienced it. I did believe in it, but you don't know until you know. And when I actually did it, I was oh my gosh, I kind of just laid in bed and I was that just happened. That's very
yeah. Honestly, astral
very
projection,
surreal feeling.
Does it feel real, you're awake, or do you feel you're in a dream?
Yeah,
when you look around the room right now, you look
both.
around, you see things. Do you see things as if you are awake, or is it more hazy, if that makes sense?
It depends. Sometimes it can be very vivid and very clear, more clear than real life. But sometimes the vision is a bit blurred and very dreamlike. So, yeah, it depends.
Interesting.
But it's definitely it feels like real life. When I do it, I'm 100% conscious. I know I'm doing it. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know that I did it. It's nothing like a dream where even in a lucid dream, sometimes you'll you're dreaming, but it's still the dream still kind of takes over. When I'm astral projecting, I know that I'm astral projecting, fully conscious.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a question I wanted to ask was, I had an experience and I thought I could even ask today if I was astral projecting or if it was more lucid dreaming. And I guess if I'm questioning it, I'm assuming it was more lucid dreaming. But I was dreaming and I was in this, I was in this different planet. I don't even know how to explain it. And then all of a sudden I'm so aware that I'm there. And I look around and I know that whole thing that people talk about on TikTok, don't ask somebody, are you real? Or don't look at the clock or don't look in the mirror or whatever, don't do those sorts of things. So I was just looking around and I was holy fuck, I think I'm astral projecting. And this sounds, oh my God, so fucking retarded and weird. But immediately I was I heard you can have sex with people in the astral plane, because my friend talked about how she would astral project and she's you can have sex. So immediately I was I wonder if you can. And I was looking around and I was do people know? And then in the end, I was am I lucid dreaming or am I astral projecting? And I was thinking all these different really weird thoughts. And in the end, I don't remember the full thing because it was so many years ago. And when I woke up, I messaged my friend who had astral projected before. And I was just explaining the whole dream. And I'm can you tell me, was I astral projecting? And she's well, it sounds like you were because you're so alert, but it also sounds like you're lucid dreaming. And so is there a way to differentiate if you are lucid dreaming or if you are astral projecting? Does it have to be intentional to astral project?
It doesn't have to be intentional. A lot of people astral project without knowing that they're doing it. But I think the biggest differentiator for me would be when I'm lucid dreaming, I'm already in the dream and then I'll be I'll kind of click and I'll be oh, I'm dreaming because something will happen. When I'm astral projecting, I normally haven't actually properly fallen asleep yet. I'm in bed and I kind of enter like the mind awake body asleep state, and then you actually kind of feel yourself leave your body. So you actually go through like a process where you feel yourself leave, and then most of the time you'll first be in your bedroom. You can like see yourself on the bed, you can see your room, and then sometimes you'll go straight somewhere else, or you can even just stay in your house. So I think that's like the biggest differentiator, is like how you enter the experience.
Yeah, I think maybe I was just
You know what I
dreaming.
mean?
Yeah. Okay,
Well, I
cool.
don't know. Like obviously, like you could have been astral projecting and just like forgot the part that you actually left your body. But obviously, since it happened
Well,
to you
I
and not me,
see
I
no
wouldn't be able to
cord,
like
and I know
100%
that
tell you.
apparently you see a cord that brings you back. Do you always see a cord?
Yeah, I don't know. I've actually never seen the cord
Okay.
before. I think that the silver cord is like more of like a symbolic representation of like your connection to your physical body. Of course, some people do see it, but people are like, oh, you can get cut and then you can't come back. But it's like I've literally never seen it before. So if that was the true, like, how do I come back every single time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think it's more of like a symbolic thing, and then I think a lot of people probably see it because they're kind of expecting to see it as well.
Yeah.
But I've actually never seen the silver cord before.
So, with astral projecting, in the most simplest of terms, because I know a lot of people that listen to this, like when I was talking to some friends, are like, interviewing you, and I'm so excited to ask some questions. And I was asking, like, what questions would you
Yeah.
have? And I put it on my story. A lot of people were so intrigued and didn't really understand the concept of, like, you can leave your body, and you're like, what if someone jumps in your body? Or, like, what if this happens? Or, like, is that even real? Or whatever, whatever. So I know that there are going to be people listening now and really wondering, like, okay, I kind of get it, but, like, can you maybe simplify it? Can you, like, the whole
Yeah, for
experience, what
sure.
it is, the process even maybe, so they're like, oh, okay.
Obviously, yeah. So obviously, this topic is like not scientifically proven, so we don't actually know 100% what is happening. So I just want to make a little disclaimer that everything that I say now is like from my personal experience and like what I believe. If you ask somebody else, someone else might have a completely different opinion on what it is from their experience. But from my experience, obviously it's like defined as like the practice of separating your consciousness from your physical body. And basically like the process of it is like you lie down to like go to sleep. And as you're going to sleep, like your brain passes through certain brain waves. So like right now, me and you talking, we'd probably be in like beta brain waves. And then as you start to relax, you go down into alpha, and then theta is like usually related to like light sleep or REM sleep.
Yeah.
But if you're able to kind of keep yourself conscious during that stage of like REM sleep, you'll enter like the mind awake body asleep state. And basically, like there's lots of different techniques that you can use. So, I mean, actually, before I say that, some people will enter sleep paralysis in this state. Some people might even start vibrating, or some people will just be in this like state where they're literally so their body feels like it's asleep, but like their mind is wide awake. And there's like lots of different techniques that you can use. So some people like climb a ladder in their mind. Some people can like roll out their body. Some people listen to like frequencies, and that can kind of like guide your consciousness out of your body.
Interesting. I've heard of the rope theory. Like you pretend like you feel like you're pulling a
Yeah.
rope and then like you
Yeah.
come out. There was this time that I was doing a meditation when my oldest, she's 6 now, but she would have been like maybe 6 months old. And I was doing a past life regression meditation, and I was just like laying on the couch, super relaxed. And all of a sudden, and I've never, like, because I used to smoke a lot of weed, like, I don't like now feeling out of body exactly. Like, I don't like when I give birth, I don't take the gas or anything because I like to feel very grounded. And so I know that
Yeah.
I don't intentionally want to astral project or anything like that. And so I was doing this meditation, and I just started to see, as if like my eyes were open but my eyes were shut, these black and white checkered squares, all like I was in this room and it was like coming at me, if that makes sense. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I felt my body pull out of it. Like I felt, it's so weird, like I can't even really describe it, but like I just felt this pull and like this
Yeah.
pop, like my soul
Yeah.
had left my body. And then I
Yeah.
immediately opened my eyes, and then like that experience stopped. But I remember thinking, was that like the start of an astral projection? Maybe like, was I maybe going
Yeah.
to go back to that
That
past
definitely
life?
sounds like the start.
Yeah, but it was just weird that
Yeah.
I seen checkered black and white
That definitely.
sounds.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes when you astral project, you might like obviously I say that you like pop out in your room, especially as a beginner, like that's the first place you'll go. But sometimes you can go like straight into like the astral realm or other planes of existence. So that could have been like you going straight there. But like there has been times where like I'll be like trying to go to sleep, but I'm still awake, and then all of a sudden I'll just feel this like pull out of my body as well. So yeah, that definitely sounds like the start of an astral projection.
Yeah. And do you feel safe doing it and knowing that you're out of your body? Because I feel like our body is our safe zone. Like people like to get grounded
Yeah.
and then you're like leaving your body, which is
Yeah.
like the most,
Yeah.
in my opinion, ungrounding thing
So
to do.
like yeah, so like to me, astral projection is like an altered state of consciousness where like you're no longer perceiving physical reality from like your physical sense, or reality from your physical senses. So like I don't believe like it is an out of body experience because you are like it does come with that sensation of like leaving your body. But personally, I don't believe that we like actually ever leave because there is not really anywhere to go because I believe that like everything in this whole universe already exists within like the one mind. So it's like when you leave your body, you're just perceiving that thing from like a different like perspective. Obviously, when you're in your physical body, like we have our physical body to like move around the physical world. So we only can really, most people will only be able to perceive the physical world while they're in their physical body. Obviously, there's other people that can perceive other things as well. But like when you leave, you're kind of, you don't have the physical sense anymore. So you can perceive things that aren't actually there. But like everything already exists everywhere. So it's like you might feel like you've gone, you know, a million light years away, but and you can't see your body, but like you could literally just be like literally right next to it. You know what I mean?
Do you ever freak out
Does
knowing
that
you
make
are
sense?
so far away from your body? Like, do you ever think like, fuck, where's my
I
body?
always, I can always feel, always like, even though I like, I'm not in my body, I can still feel it like it's right there. It's like
Yeah.
such like
Because
it's
you
like
are
a
still connected to your
dual.
body. Like your full
Yeah, like
soul's not out
I
your
can still
body.
feel my body while it's there. Like I can like feel myself lying in bed, and I do talk to a lot of people, and they say that they can like see their room, but they can also see the astral plane. Kind of like me and you talking right now, how there's like two
But we
screens. Like
can
a lot of
also still
people
think of a
say how
chair
they
in our
can like
mind and
see.
think of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. I actually am obsessed with this topic. And one thing that, I don't know, I had someone very close to me pass away recently. Well, like nearly 2 years ago, but it feels very recent. And that was like my upa. And I can't help but think, like, when you astral project, which I've never properly done, but if I were to, would I be able to connect to him? Like, can you connect to loved ones that have
Yeah.
passed over? Like, have you done that?
Yeah. So I personally have never done that before, but it is something that a lot of people do. And especially when I first started posting about astral projection, I did get a message from a girl on Instagram who told me that her partner had recently passed away within the last few months, and she also was getting sleep paralysis, and she heard that you could leave your body from sleep paralysis, pretty much the same as me. And she did it, and then she was able to reconnect with her passed away partner. But yeah, that's something that a lot of people have stories about. Me personally, I've never done it before, but it is something that you can do.
Is that because you haven't wanted to or haven't had the need to?
So I live like in Australia and the rest of my family live in Scotland. So I like don't have very close relationships with them.
Okay.
So it's not like I don't want to, but it's just not something that I ever really think about. Like it's something that I wouldn't be opposed to doing, but I never really like think about it really when I leave my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you navigate moving around once you've left your body? Is it just you think of, like if I wanted to connect to my Ulpa, I would just like think of him
Yeah.
and then you'd be there?
Yeah, so I feel like the best thing to do if you wanted to do that would be to like set the intention before you do it. So like
Okay.
you'll say like I want to astral project for the purpose of like connecting with my, is it Oompa, did you say?
Ulpa, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for like reconnection or whatever. So you have like the intention ready, and then once you do it, then you kind of say the intention again. I do find that if you don't have an intention of like why you want to astral project or like what you're doing when you leave, it can be very hard to control because it's not like you leave and then you can just like walk down the street, or like you have to really like use your mind. So when I first started leaving my body, I literally couldn't even get out of my bedroom. I couldn't figure out how to get out of my bedroom. It was really hard. And then I eventually like was able to focus my mind enough to like get out the window, and then I was able to like go down the side of the house. Like it took me a while to like even be able to get away from my house. And then I eventually got to the beach one day. And then after I started going to the beach, like no, after the time I went to the beach, that's when I started going places that I had like no idea. Like how I said before, how like I didn't actually know what the astral plane was at that time. So I was really confused. But yeah, it takes like a lot of like mind power, I guess you can say, and mind control to like be able to move around.
And like focusing on what you're wanting, where you're wanting to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it easy to go back to your
Yeah.
body though? Like, because that's, I feel like a really common thing people were asking was like,
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
easy to like get around everywhere, but like, to get back to your body? I think people have this bit, for me, the questions that I got asked the most was like, I would never want to do that because like, what if I didn't find my body? Or that would be so hard. Or what if I lost my body and I'm just there forever?
Yeah. Yeah, I literally get this question all the time. So I have like multiple videos on my TikTok talking about it because it's not like I think a lot of people because obviously we live in like the physical world. So like in order to get somewhere, you have to like move through space to get there, and then it's like then you have to come back. Kind of like when you like leave your house. So just say your house is your body, and then you like go to the shop, and then you have to like find your way home. That's like not how it works. So it's like you. I guess here like you're moving through space, and that creates time. But when you leave your body, you're kind of like you're moving through time and that creates the space if that
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense
that does make sense because
like
it's a different world. Like,
yeah
it's
so it's
not
like
like,
yeah like if you like for when I went to the beach like it didn't take it, like if I was to walk to the beach from my house it would take like probably like 30-40 minutes. It doesn't take that long to get there. Like you'll kind of go and then you'll see everything and then you'll just be there. Like the scene around you literally just changes. It's like the same thing like when you come like when you're dreaming like you always wake up, so it's like I'll be out of my body and then I'll just start feeling this like pulling sensation and then all of a sudden like you just kind of like wake up in your body. But it's not something that you have to like find your way back. Like I think a lot of people think that, but it's like you staying out is actually so much harder than coming back. I think that's like the one thing that people, if I was
I've
to say
actually
one thing, it's,
heard
like,
that.
literally like yeah. And it's like even if you couldn't find your way back, like if you needed to go to the bathroom, if like someone made a noise around your house, like that will pull you back instantly as well. Like, so it's not really something that you need to worry about. And I don't think it's ever
Okay.
actually, there's no recorded cases of anyone actually getting stuck outside their body.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've heard if you like, because I went through like years ago this massive rabbit hole of like astral projection. I was like, this is crazy. You can leave your body without dying. Like, I just thought it was the most bizarre thing, and I got so obsessed with it. And yeah, a lot of people would
Yeah.
say that if you got too excited, you'd be back in your body. Like, you're like, oh my God, I did it. And then it's like, boom, you're back in. So like, you have to be very
Yeah.
neutral
Yeah.
about like, don't get too excited, don't get
Yeah. And
too
I think
freaked
when you
out.
first start, it's hard to be, yeah, when you first start, it's definitely hard to be like neutral about it because like you're either going to be like scared or you're going to be excited or you're going to be obviously both. So it does take like, that's probably why like the first time I did it, I literally just went up and down because I was like, oh my gosh, down. But then obviously after you've done it a few times, you kind of like, you're like, okay, I can control myself now. And then it's like, then it comes to like being able to leave your body. And then now it's like, now you have to learn how to move through
Yeah.
that world as well.
Like a tool, like a muscle kind of thing. Like you've got to learn it. And then,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
next question. Can anybody get in your body? There's a
Oof.
bit of,
Obviously. Yeah.
yeah, because like if you're out your body, like my mind just goes, well, there's like space. What if there's like, we've got good
Yeah.
and bad in this universe. Like, is there something that maybe you've got these energies following you as it is in this realm, and you leave your body and something can go, "Oh, you're free. I'm gonna take you up."
Yeah, that is like a question I get, probably the number one question that I get.
Okay.
And I think it's a very common misconception. And I think like obviously this depends who you ask as well. Like if you ask somebody else who's like, you're probably going to get a different answer. But in my opinion, like I'll say it like a million times, it's an altered state of consciousness. You are always connected to your body. And it's like when you leave, like your heart's still beating, your blood's still pumping, like everything is still working. So it's like you're not actually empty. There's some, I think some people call it like the silent observer, but yeah, like you're not empty. It's literally an altered state of consciousness where you are now like no longer perceiving reality from your physical senses, but you're not like an empty shell lying on the bed. Like you're
Okay.
still always connected to your body. Like nothing can come inside of you. And I think a lot of people think that like obviously you say there's like good and bad in the universe, and like there is, but like in my point of view, like there's no such thing as actually good or bad. It's like there's one universal mind, and that can manifest as either good or bad depending on how you make use of it. So something that appears bad, it might look evil, it might be scary. It doesn't always have to be that way if you don't choose for it to be evil. And a lot of the
Right.
time as well, like a lot of if you like see something scary, like an evil entity or something, you could actually ask them like what they represent. And a lot of the time, if you say that, number one, they can dissolve, or they can literally tell you like, oh, I'm your unprocessed trauma from your childhood, or
Wow.
like they can literally be so specific and say like I'm this. And that's like because obviously like the like universal law, like as within so without, or as above so below. Like so I believe like when you're astral projecting, it's an out of body experience, but it's also like an inner experience as well. You can like those like traumas, like emotions that you have stored can like project outwards as emotions, but like as like thought forms basically. And you can literally ask them straight up like, what are you? And I also, and a lot of people will say like, what about the good things as well? Even things that come and are like good, same thing. Like it still could be like, you know, your joy or like your compassion being projected outward as well. So it's not just the bad things, it's the good things as well.
So for me, like when I work with my clients, I'm always looking for their biggest fears, their biggest blocks for whatever they're wanting to achieve, like what's actually holding them back from getting that. Would you say that that's a good tool then, like astral projecting, to like witness these things that you have within you so you can go, oh, okay, I didn't know I had that within me. I didn't know I needed to clear this. Or like, can you clear these things while you're in this state, or is it more just about being aware? If that makes sense.
I mean, you can clear it, but obviously I feel like clearing things like that doesn't just happen like instantly. That's something that you do obviously have to work through, but definitely becoming aware of it. And obviously like becoming aware of something is the first step to being able to change it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like I've gone through like some things and then like I thought that I had like healed from them. And then this actually happened a few months ago where I thought I had healed from it but then I started to feel like down again and I was confused on like why I was feeling this way. And then I actually astral projected and I was like shown a scene and it showed me that like I actually hadn't processed that yet. And it showed me that's the thing that was making me feel that way. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I came back and then I was able to actually like go back to it and process it again. And like,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Because a lot of people live there, like my dad, for instance, he will live his whole life. Like, I know he'll come back. Like, he has got many more lives on this, he'll be coming back. Because, yeah, I see a lot of his traumas, or obviously some that, like, I've adapted because, you know, they're your parents and you can adapt their traumas. And I'm just like, oh, my God, I wish you could, like, see this and become more aware, because your life would be so much better if you'd become more aware. So I think it's a really cool thing that you've been able to find awareness with things that can help you propel forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because like especially like when you're astral projecting, from like my point of view, when you leave your body, so there's like three planes of existence. There's like the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. So you can kind of project your consciousness into like any of those planes. So that's why sometimes some people will like astral project and they'll be able to perceive like physical reality, and there's people that have been able to perceive things that were happening in like real time. Then it's like if you go a little bit higher where like you're still in the physical plane, but like you're moving to like the energy side of things, like things might look different. Like some people will say like, oh, someone commented on my video the other day saying that like their room was messy, but they astral projected and it was clean. So it's like you might just be like a little bit higher up in like the intermediate dimensions. And then there's also like the mental plane. So if you go to the mental plane, it's like you can see your mental stuff, but it's like as a collective, the mental plane exists within us, but it also exists out there, and we're all like co-creating it. So it's like you can see what other people are thinking. You can also like, if like, for example, like religions, like there's lots of people that believe in like Christianity. So like they're all thinking about the same thing, especially like when they go to church every day. So that's creating like realities out there. So like when they leave their bodies, they're more likely to be drawn to like those types of things, which will like further reinforce their beliefs. Because obviously like their belief systems exist in the mental plane as well. So it's like you can go to the mental plane, but it's like basically like infinite possibilities. It's like you're walking through a city and there's just like all the skyscrapers everywhere, and then you go into the skyscrapers and there's like a million rooms, like the mental plane, or like all the planes are literally infinite. And then it's obviously also the spiritual plane as well. So yeah,
I really believe that as well, because like my opa, he hated talking about death. Like he hated it because he was old. I think we didn't get an autopsy or anything, so we don't know how he exactly died. We think it was like a blood clot. I believe it was COVID vaccine, but anyway, that's another story for another day. But yeah, he would always say though, it's just black. Like, because he's German. He's like this real thick German accent. Like, don't you worry. It's just all black. There's nothing there. And then sometimes I feel really disconnected to him. And I feel like I'll ask for a sign and I won't get the sign. And I think, fuck, are you actually just this black space? But I know that you can shift your consciousness. And yeah, I definitely believe like people that believe they're going to go to hell, I believe like you can create a reality on the other side that you're going to go to that place. If you believe you're going to go to heaven, I think you're going to create that place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's so wild. Like this stuff like literally blows my mind. And this is why I think I really wanted to make an episode on this, because like I wanted to ask all these questions, because sometimes it can be hard to like scroll on TikTok and like you see different people's opinions, and maybe people have done it like once or twice. And I thought it was really cool that you like help people. And that was like the next thing I wanted to ask, because you help people get there. And I seen like you posted something like an email that someone had sent you that they're like been trying for ages, and then they were like able to do it and they're really excited. How long does it usually take a beginner to like experience it? like the astral realm?
It literally just depends. Like I'll never give a time frame and I'll never promise anyone like a time frame because like if I did that, that would be me being like I would basically be lying because you don't know. Some people will like take my quiz and they'll astral project the same night, but most of the time when that happens, that's usually someone that has already been practicing for a while or they like maybe have done it once and haven't been able to like redo it, like re-achieve it. I think like statistically, like if I think there was like a study done and it's like average is like 4 weeks. If you were like serious about it and actually like practicing every single night, because I think like obviously a lot of people will try a couple times, might not work, so they'll stop and then they'll come back to it. But yeah, I think the average, if you are practicing every single night, is usually about 4 weeks. But it could be longer and it could be less. Like it just depends. It took me 4 weeks actually, if I think about it now. But I already was experiencing sleep paralysis as well, so I had
It's just like,
a little bit of an idea of that state.
yeah. Do you think the biggest thing that holds people back would be they get excited, like they go to and then they kind of get excited, or they get like the fear they might have? Because I guess it is a
I
huge
think
step
it's
if
the
you've,
fear that yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely the fear over the excitement that holds people back because like a lot of the time even if you're not like consciously scared, like you might consciously like really want to do it, but if you have like a subconscious fear about it, when you're like lying down to do it, you could be like, so you have to like stay still and then you're trying to like focus your consciousness, but like your subconscious mind can't be like, I feel scared. So it will start like sending like signals out. So that's why some people are like, I get really itchy or like I get the urge to move. There's all these like things that can happen that can prevent this experience from happening. And normally when we like dig into like what that actually is, it's because they have some sort of fear. So whether that's like fear of entities, fear of not coming back. A lot of people actually have the fear of like being changed because they think that like it's gonna like blow their mind and they're gonna come back and they're gonna be a completely different person and they're scared of like what that means and what
yeah,
the person they're gonna be is. And like obviously majority of the time I think it's like 9 out of 10 times like people have positive experiences and they come back saying that they've like been changed in a good way. But then obviously there's still that fear where it's like what if it's
yeah.
what
And
if
it's
it's
funny
changed in
because
a bad
people
way?
could have those fears, but then they'll go take acid, you know? Or they'll go out and they'll take like MDMA and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
they're like on another fucking planet. But then that
Yeah.
doesn't scare them. Like, I'd personally be more scared
Yeah.
to
And I've
do that.
also found as well, like the opposite of that as well. Like I've had people that like they have astral projection as like the thing that like has to change their life. Like they need to astral project because they need to know all this stuff and it will make them this person. And then that can also block it as well because you're putting astral projection as like that thing that needs to change your life. And if your body or
Yeah.
like your nervous system doesn't feel safe being that person, it's going to block the experience because to you, astral projection represents being that person. So it can go both ways as well. Like some people, it's like fear, yeah, but most of the time it is fear of the unknown,
Yeah.
which obviously is a normal fear that we all have.
Yeah. Because like years ago, before I even had kids, I think I was even smoking weed back then. And I was like, I'm going to try. I'd get the crystals and people would say on TikTok, like, kiss your partner's third eye. They kiss you. Like, we were doing all this weird stuff. And I think the biggest thing that stopped me was fear. And I'm kind of glad I didn't back then because then I went through this spiral of like, I had to stop smoking weed because like, I feel like my hormonal imbalance and I don't know, I just needed a break because I did it for so long, so young. But oh my God, baby brain, where was I even getting with that? Okay, so my next question was for me, like I help people with manifestation, clearing subconscious blocks and doing everything like that. And you mentioned earlier about you're able to go to different planes and like anything and everything's kind
Yeah.
of can exist in the astral realm. Can you go to your highest timeline? Like say if I wanted to be a millionaire or I wanted to have certain experience in my life, can you go to the version of you that has that? Or can you
Yeah,
use
yeah,
astral projection to manifest?
yeah. So there's like lots of different ways you can use astral projection to manifest. Number one is yes, you can go to like the highest timeline of yourself. You can have conversations with like your higher self, if that's what you want to call it. Like when I astral project, there's lots of times where I'll ask a question. Like I can give a couple examples here.
Yeah.
So when I first started my business, because like I started this business like to teach astral projection, but like I had no idea what I was doing. Like I kind of just was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I was sitting around trying to like learn everything, but I was like, I'm gonna learn so much more just by doing it. So I just started it. So I had no idea what I was doing. I still kind of don't really have an idea of what I'm doing, but I'm just like kind of just doing it. But a couple months in, I made a course and I was gonna start selling the course, and I like didn't really know like how to do that. So I like sat down and I astral projected and I was like, I just asked the question like, what do I need to like know, like what do I need for my business? And it like literally it was so vivid. It showed like I was just out and I just in front of me they just like showed me this book. It was like a red book and then I came back because I lived across the other side of the country, so I came back to visit home, and as soon as I walked into the computer room, that book, because my brother had it, was sitting next to the computer. Like as soon as I got home, I saw it sitting there, so I took it back with me, and I didn't read it straight away, even though I probably should have, but I didn't read it for a while, and then I started to struggle like selling the thing that I had created, so I read the book, and then that was the book that actually helped me start making sales, and like as soon as I read that book, like everything changed. And I was
That
like,
is
that's like,
so synchronistic. It's so crazy. Wow.
yeah, and even like when I first started as well, I did the same thing because I had like opened a Instagram account, a TikTok account, I had like a community page. I was trying to do so many things at once, and I like had just started, so I didn't really know like even what I was doing. So I said like, what's the thing that I need to like focus on? And they showed me like I just got taken to this scene of like everybody like recording videos and making content. So I was like, okay, so obviously it's like the
Social
content side of
media.
things is what I need to
Yeah.
focus on. And then as soon as I started focusing on social media and I took away everything else, like I stopped posting in the community, I stopped trying to do all the other little things, and I was like just posting on social media. That's when my TikTok account started blowing up,
Because you've got a
which I
lot of
probably
blown
wouldn't have
up
done it.
videos. Yeah. You've got, yeah, quite a few really popular videos that I even see now get popped up and I'm like, oh, I've seen that, but I love it. Yeah. I find personally you could like follow someone else and, do what they're doing. Like posting 10 times a day, you can be making the courses, you can be doing all these things like, oh, maybe I need to be doing what they're doing because it's working for them. And ultimately, like, it just has to feel good. Like if something doesn't feel good, it's not meant to be for you. And like
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you know this, but like I was in beauty before I got into like the spiritual side of things and like manifestation. So I had a beauty clinic helping with like body fat and tightening the skin. And it was so fun. Like I was making over $10,000 a month. I was like, that was my ultimate thing. It's like, I want to make 10K a month, like that's what
Yeah.
a lot of business owners have. And then just all of a sudden, it just wasn't fun. And I was still doing it. And then like my sales dipped it slightly. And I thought, do you know what? The one thing that would be so, because like, I don't know if you know much about human design. I'm a
I know a
sacral,
little bit.
yeah, so I'm a sacral generator. So all I'm meant to do in this lifetime essentially is to follow, like respond to life and follow what feels good. So like
Yeah.
Dion, my kid's dad, he's a projector. So he's meant to think
I'm a
about things.
projector as well, which is like kind of funny.
That is actually funny because that would make sense for what you do. You're very
Yeah.
wise and you're like, yeah, people will probably come to you for a lot of like wise advice. Like, what should I do here? And you have like that higher perspective. But yeah, I'm very much like I bypass the mind and I just have to feel what feels good in my gut. And so doing body sculpting and the beauty industry just didn't feel good anymore. And I loved it and I loved the money and I loved all the aspects. But I thought, you know what? I'm not doing anything just for money. And then I switched over to this and immediately sold out in my one-on-ones. And then, yeah, what I've decided now is like I'm pregnant with my third, I'm about to give birth, and I really want to slow down even more and be more intentional about the people I take on. And I have not worked like stuff all, like I have like a couple one-on-ones and I'm making nearly as much as I was before. And I would say to the average Joe, I don't even work.
Yeah.
Like I post on social media when it feels good and then I'll randomly like one might go viral. And then it's just like really following what feels good. And I think a lot of people think, oh my God, I got to do all of this and I got to do what they do. And then they wonder why it doesn't work out for them because it doesn't feel good. So
That's definitely one thing that I like have had to learn as well. Is because you'll hear people say like you need to post every single day and you need to when I didn't post every day, I would feel like I wasn't I was being unproductive or something. But now it's like even yesterday, like I filmed a video and I really didn't like it. And I usually try to just post it, but I was like, you know what, I don't have to post every day. Like I'm not gonna post it because I feel like it's also like the energy behind what you're doing as well. So it's like I can post one video and if I was like really happy with it and I was in good energy, that video will outperform like 20 videos. You know what I mean?
100%.
So it's just like it is the energy you're putting behind it, and it's like it's better to do something aligned as opposed to just doing it because you feel like you have to do it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's where you'll become more successful. And like that's even like how I found you. Like imagine if you just like followed everyone else and you're posting what they were telling you to do. I probably wouldn't have even felt connected to reach out and hop on the pod or like, you expanding your business because it's not, if you don't feel good for it, other people will pick up and not feel good on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then you're
And like going
spiraling.
back to like the manifestation side of things as well, like
Yeah.
what I believe, like when you obviously manifesting even in the physical plane, like obviously it has to come down all the planes. So like you have like the idea, and then it gets sent to you, then it's like a seed in your head, and then you kind of start to imagine like how you could bring that about, and then you have to like move through the physical world to like get it. So there's like the 3 stages, the 3 planes. So when you astral project and you go to like the mental plane, for example, if you think like, oh, like I want a hairbrush, like the hairbrush will just appear in your hand. So basically, if you want something, you can say it in the astral plane, you'll get it. Obviously, that doesn't mean you're gonna have it in the physical plane, but it like trains your subconscious to believe that you can have it. Because I feel like a lot of people, like, they want all these things, but like they don't believe subconsciously that they can have it. So it's like you can go out there, you can say, I want this, and then you'll start like experiencing it, and then it trains the subconscious mind. Same thing with lucid dreaming as well. You can do that in a lucid dream.
Yeah, because I guess you can like think of it and then it comes. Yeah, because for me with my clients, for one, you have to believe it's possible. If you don't believe it is possible, like why would it ever pop up in your reality? Oh my God, I'm getting such pregnancy brain. I keep going to go on a tangent and then my brain. But so with the astral projection, have you ever gone to think like, oh, I really want to have like, 2 more one-on-one clients or sell like some more of your courses? Do you kind of train your brain to see it more in the astral realm, so then when you're back in your body and you're walking around, you can feel as if it's done, it's complete, it's coming your way?
So yeah, I do that, and I also do that like even here as well, because I do manifest a lot as well. Like I'm also very much into manifestation, so I like visualize a lot. So usually when I lie down, I'm like visualizing things, and then I'll end up astral projecting, so that's like the first thing that's in my mind, so then I'll like experience that however it does in the astral realm as well. But yeah, a lot of the time I'll visualize, like, because I have my quiz, so that's like my main thing that I'm selling. I do have a couple one-on-one clients as well, but I will like visualize my like when I get a sale, I'll get like an email that will be like, you got a sale. So I'll just like visualize my like the sales coming in, like as if I'm like scrolling on my phone like this.
Yeah.
And then I always find that when I'm doing that like every day, like 3 times a day, that's when I'm getting sales. Then sometimes I'll stop doing it, and then they'll stop. And I'm like, okay, go back to doing it.
Yeah, seeing it, then it comes into reality.
Yes, I do. Yeah, when I astral project, since I like usually that's what I'm thinking about. It's not always just that. Like I do visualize like bigger picture stuff as well. But yeah, so normally like that's already what I'm thinking about. So when I astral project, like my main purpose for astral projection that I use astral projection for is manifestation and like understanding universal laws. They're like my main things. Yeah.
So like this is a funny little analogy, but for me, like giving birth, I would feel so much better if I was giving birth with my best friend, or like we had each other. Like can you astral project with a friend to make you feel more comfortable, and then like you both go over and you're together? Like can you be with someone?
So I've never actually done this before. Main reason like I don't really have any friends that actually astral project, but I have heard a lot of people talk about how they have done this before. And I have heard a story of someone who said that he astral projected and he was with his dad, and like they were both still alive.
Yeah.
And then he like woke up the next day and he was like, Dad, like I was with you last night. And his dad was like, oh no, I was with you too.
Oh wow.
And I will say as well, like I think we probably, like a lot of people say that we leave our bodies every night anyways. Like when we dream, we just don't remember. Yeah. And sometimes when I'm like in sleep paralysis, or like I've astral projected but I'm still like in my room, sometimes there'll be like a presence with me, and I can always like feel, sometimes it's like I can tell if it's a girl or a boy, but then sometimes it's like I can tell that it's like my friend, you know what I mean? And there's been so many times where like it's such a specific friend's energy that I can feel, and I can like see their presence next to me. And then I will come back to my body and I'm like, they were in my room. So like whether they knew they were doing that or not, I definitely feel like they were being attracted to me. I don't know. In their sleep. I don't know. It's like a weird.
Wow. I heard there's this girl, you might have seen her. I think she's from Australia as well, and she does like manifestation stuff, but she loves to astral project. Her name's Abby Harris.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah, so she's like blonde, and so I've seen her on TikTok and all of that as well. Like, I feel like that's where you find everyone.
I think I've seen one of her YouTube videos, actually. That's how I know her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she does YouTube too.
Yeah.
And she's very spiritual. And she was talking about how she met her soulmate through astral projection.
Really?
And yeah, I thought it was really fascinating. And she was, astral projecting, and she went to like this lake. I could say the story a little bit wrong, but she went to this lake and this guy was there, and you know, she could tell he was astral projecting and he could tell, and they're like kind of connected. And I don't know if he told her or she had this unknowing feeling that she was going to meet him in 2 weeks. There was something about meeting him in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then she went on, like, lived her life. I don't know what else happened in the astral projection. They like connected. And then in 2 weeks' time, I think they were at a cafe or a friend's introduced them. They ran into each other. Yeah, they've been with each other ever since.
And did he know as well that like he met her before?
Yeah, they both knew that they were both astral projecting.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I've had a story kind of similar to that, not exact same, but I was like, I think I posted a TikTok about this before, but I was like going down my street and like someone like went past me and we kind of like looked at each other, and then I went to the shops. I think it was like a few days or a few weeks later, and like I kind of saw that person and we both kind of like looked back at each other and then like walked away, and it was like the same thing that happened, like because we both like looked back at each other there, and then we
And we're like, hey, I know what you're doing right now.
I don't know if like that was just a coincidence or if it was like the same thing. And then there's like another time where I was in my room and I was like floating above like I was facing my body, like looking at it, and I like, you know how like superheroes go like this and then like power comes out there.
Oh yeah.
I did that. I just like to see what would happen. Like I'd never done it before, so I went like this, and like I literally like this energy just like shot down and like pushed me back, and I like literally, it was literally here, like literally up here. Like went through the wall, and I like just landed on a floor, and I was like in someone's house, and I was like looking around the room. I was like just lying on the floor. I could see their bed. I could hear them snoring on their bed. I could see there was like a desk next to the room. I could see the wardrobe. Like I could see it all so clearly, but I couldn't get up. And then like 3 months later, I met somebody and I went to their house, and it was literally like that was the house that I was in. Like I like as soon as I saw the room, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been here
That
before.
is so fucking wild. That is so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, like I guess it proves, I guess without science, just more of what you've experienced.
Yeah.
That
Like obviously
you're going to
a lot
real
of people,
places. Like you're
yeah, and a lot of
going.
people will be like, oh, it's not scientifically proven. Like that is fair enough. Like if it's hard to believe, but like I have proved it to myself. Like the most, I think I posted a TikTok about this like the other day. Like the most vivid one that I proved to myself was when I literally left my body and I went out and I could see my dad making a cup of tea with like the mug, and then he was wearing a green shirt, and then I saw him walk out the door, and then I came back to my body, went out. The same green, well not the green mug, the same mug was next to the sink.
Did you make
And
a
then
TikTok on this?
yeah,
Yeah, because I feel like this is a familiar story. Yeah. Go on though.
and I literally like and then an hour later or so he came back wearing the same shirt that I had seen him wearing. Like, so that was like, to me, that's like the proof that like I did it. And it works. So yeah.
Wow. I guess it's more an extent of like, you know how people can see things in their mind then things happen?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I think of someone and they text you. Whereas I guess you're doing it on a different level.
Yeah. It's
Like
it's just like an expansion of consciousness. Like you're just like expanding where you're like perceiving.
so fascinating. So I just have a couple more questions left, but I know we kind of touched on this, but these were just some questions that people said on my Instagram Q&A that I asked.
Okay.
On that, what they wanted to ask you. But so can you get trapped out of your body? I know you kind of said no before, but that's
Yeah,
just
so like it is just like an altered state of consciousness. So you come back the exact same way. You'll like wake up from a dream or nearly anything. So it's like you just come back, and yeah, like you're not an empty vessel, like I said before.
Yeah.
It's really just like it's an expansion of consciousness. That's like the best way to explain what it actually is. And yeah, nothing can come inside of you. Nothing can stop you from getting back. You can't get lost. Like nothing like that.
Yeah. And do you have like a story that you can think of or an experience that was so fascinating, or you're just like, I'll never forget this, or it was just so bizarre? I mean, I know you talked about the cup and the mug, which is like super like crazy, but is there anything that comes to mind that you'd want to share?
Yeah, I have so many, but like one that's just come to my mind now that I'll just say. So one time I had left my body and I was in this room, and I've never been to this room before, but it felt like very, very familiar. And there was something talking to me. It sounded like, you know, those scary horror movies where it's like a creepy like child's voice. Kind of sounded like that. And it was like, maybe not as like a child, but it was like very creepy with like kind of like context. And they were like, come to this room. So they like took me into another room, and it was just like a room of like filing cabinets. And they were like, you need to write down all your problems that you're going through, and then we're going to go through them in this room. That's all they said. And I was like, what? So then I like woke up and I was like confused, because I'm like, that's a very interesting thing to say. And then I just went back to sleep, and then woke up the next day, kind of forgot about the experience, because like I astral project a lot. So like to me, it's I kind of like, I'll wake up the next day and forget that I even did it that night. And I was listening to a podcast, like as I was making my breakfast, and on the podcast they said like he started talking about how he writes down all his problems and it fixes them or something. And I was like, that's very weird, because and I remembered like from last night, like someone just told me to do that. And then I'm hearing it again. So I'm like, maybe it's a sign to do it. So I literally just like wrote down some of the things I was dealing with at that time. And then over the next week, they literally all just sorted themselves out. And like to me, it felt like I was like inside my own mind. Like you kind of know, like inside out. Like it wasn't like that at all. But like that's like kind of like what I mean. How there's like things inside of you that are controlling your brain. It was kind of like that. Like it was like something was inside of me that was like gonna sort it out for me, in a way. And like
something
yeah.
higher
And like
than.
when I wrote it down, it literally just like all sorted itself out. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, give me that book and let me borrow it. That's so crazy though.
yeah.
So would you say, like, I'm assuming you're going to say no because of what you said about like leaving your body and like you can find your body again, but would you say astral projection is dangerous?
No, I don't think it's dangerous. It's not a dream. When I say this, people are like, oh, so it's just a dream, but it's like, it's similar to a dream, as like both are altered states of consciousness, but they are different. Just how like cats and dogs are both pets, but they're different things. So it's like, it is like the same concept. It's like it's an altered state of consciousness, so you will always come back no matter what. Like when you go to sleep at night and you dream, you come back no matter what. You don't have to find your way back. You don't have to force yourself to wake up, like you just do. Same thing, like you astral project, you will come back to your body, you will wake up. You don't have to you don't even have to know how to do it. Like when I first started astral projecting, I had no idea what I was even doing, but I was still coming back to my body every single time.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
yeah, the only danger I would say would be like more psychological, because obviously like we were talking about before, how you can, run into, your traumas or, beings out there that like appear scary. So that can be like, it's not like it's dangerous physically, but like it can be dangerous psychologically.
Like if you're not ready to experience it.
But I also believe though that like your subconscious will never show you something that you're not ready to process.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was just about to say.
So
Yeah.
like,
You're ready
even
to
if
heal
like
it
at the
until-
time it's very confronting, like it does give you the chance to actually now become aware of it and then come back and like integrate and heal. And like one thing that I always say is like you can't have light without dark. Like a lot of people think that like they just want good, but it's like you can't fully experience like the good unless you've like gone to the bad. So if you have like traumas that you're carrying, like you'll never actually be able to experience like the amazing parts of life if you don't actually explore that side of you as well. Like both sides are equally as important.
Yeah, 100%. So we're getting to the end of the episode. I just wanted to know, is there anything else you wanted to talk on, like anything that just like popped up, or a common question that maybe people would ask on TikTok that, people might find a lot of value on the podcast episode? Or we've kind of talked about a lot though.
The number one questions that I get, we've already spoken about, like, can you get trapped outside your body? Can something come inside your body? They're the number two, basically the two main questions I get as well.
And like with a lot of the questions, they seemed a bit more like, dark, is it dangerous, can you get out of your body? But it's more so like, I feel like that's the common things that people would think if they're going to try, or maybe why they don't want to.
Yeah.
Would you like recommend it to people? Like if they just wanted to have some fun, or wanted to like manifest better, or like just experience it, is this something that you would say like, I think everyone needs to experience at least once in their life?
Yeah, well obviously I wouldn't say everyone. Like if it's something that you're not like drawn to, then obviously like don't do it. But I think there was a study done that was like 9 out of 10 people reported positive life changes. So it's like, it's kind of like the dentist that like, there's always that one dentist that doesn't like the toothpaste. It's like, there's always going to be people that do it and they might not like it, they might not enjoy it, but like you'll never know until you experience it. So it is something that I would recommend trying. Majority, like 90% of people have positive change from it. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Can you tell the listeners a little bit more about like what you do exactly and how you help people? Where can they find you? I'll have everything listed in the notes of the episode as well. But yeah, how can people find you?
Yeah, so basically my name's Morv and I'm an NLP practitioner. So I have studied like neuro-linguistic programming that looks at how your mind, language and behavior interact to influence like yourself and other people. So I studied that and I learned about how like your brain processes information through your 5 senses. And I realized that like the way that I figured out how to leave my body directly connected to like how my brain processed information. So that's how I kind of came up with the concept of like my quiz and like making exit strategies for how people's brain processes information. So I created a quiz that will literally like predict which exit strategy will work for you. And I first started running it for free just to see if it worked, and I had like crazy results from it. So I now have a quiz that will literally pick up how your brain processes information, whether it's visual, kinesthetic, auditory digital, which is like internal dialogue, or auditory, and it will link you to like an astral projection exit strategy that is most likely going to work for that brain type. And it also looks at like your limiting beliefs, because in NLP we also look at limiting beliefs, emotional patterns, and all that stuff. So I'll pick up on those and be able to give you some guidance on how to work through that as well. And you can find me on TikTok. It's at @the_pendulum project, on Instagram as well. And then my website, which I've not fully done my website yet, but it's there. It's
getting there.
thependulumproject.com.au.
To be continued. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. This has definitely been something that I've wanted to interview someone on. And as soon as I seen you, I was like, I need to get you on the podcast. So thank you for allowing this to happen.
No worries. Thank you for having me as well. I enjoyed it as well.
All right.